What we added between the first release of the Yetis to the new versions with Wi-Fi, just starting kind of internally, we've improved things under the hood in terms of electronics, buffing up the 12-volt ports to drive more products for a longer amount of time. We've improved the display by making it larger and adding some new information there. We've added these new USB Type-C ports, which give us the ability to charge directly with the new latest phones, tablets, and laptops efficiently and without any adapter required to make that happen. I'd just like to call out that while we have two ports, they're not the same. One is a 15-watt port that works much the same as USB ports that you've dealt with in the past. But this one on the left uses the new USB power delivery spec, which allows you to charge, in this case, at up to 60 watts into your portable devices. You're doing so without a brick, so you don't have the loss that you would if you were trying to do it from the wall or from our AC ports. The most significant piece was the addition of the wireless communication in the form of Wi-Fi. You can see here is the addition of two buttons that allow you to interact with it during pairing and turning it off and on. The Wi-Fi is great because it lets you do a lot that you couldn't before with kind of the limited interface here in terms of the screen size and the number of buttons. So now by adding the companion app, you can kind of get in and see things, control things, and it just lets you use the Yeti in a lot of ways that before weren't possible.
Another benefit of having the app is that you can see a little bit more information about what's going on inside of the Yeti, about like the power that's going out, the power that's stored in the Yeti, the temperature, if your ports are on or off. And one of the great things is that you don't actually have to be right next to your Yeti to know these things. I could be at the grocery store and I would know that things at home are charging. One scenario is where you could have devices plugged into it, plugged into the Yeti. So say I left my second phone at home and I walk away. I could be shopping at the grocery store, and while I'm away I can turn on the port and make sure that those devices are charging. One of the great things that you can do with the app is actually check for firmware updates that will be able to update the functionality of the Yeti itself. You just do that by tapping this button and it'll go check for updates.
So why choose Wi-Fi over another wireless technology such as Bluetooth? Bluetooth is great when you have constraints around processing power or battery capacity. The Yeti doesn't have those problems, and so by choosing Wi-Fi, it lets us be more flexible. So we can have our units get online and connected through the cloud to the smartphone app, where you can interact with them anywhere on Earth, or you have the flexibility of interacting with them directly as if you were on a Bluetooth connection. So you can really get the best of both worlds. As far as the app goes with this, we've taken a lot of time making sure that the experience is as intuitive and painless as possible. So you can see here that it does the obvious. You can turn things off and on. You can keep track of your charge level, how much power is flowing in and out of the unit. And then if you care to dive a little deeper, you can get in and rename your unit. In the case where you may have several units, you can distinguish them more easily. And you also have the ability to remove units here. You can turn on notifications to your phone that trigger conditions such as if your battery is running out or some error has occurred. And this is also where you can find the version number of your app, your Yeti, and where you can press a button to do those remote updates. So the reason that we included Wi-Fi in this update was really twofold. From a user's perspective, we think that they'll really appreciate the ability to have an improved interaction with their unit. So before you had a pretty limited display and a number of buttons, where now, using your smartphone, now you can really get deeper into your Yeti, you can see more information, you can control things, and you can do that from anywhere on Earth. From Gold Zero's perspective, what we really love about this is now as we improve compatibility with future products or just come up with new features for these units, we can push that out remotely and customers can always have the latest, greatest experience.